Throughout my time in my Minecraft world, I have had one very special villager best friend who's been hanging out with me for a while. Some of you guys might know this villager. His name is Gazpacho. He's currently been living amongst my sheep in my house, which is not really the best kind of guest bedroom that I could offer, so I figured it was time to get him his own place. So today we're going to be working on a desert library build that is fit perfect for Gazpacho to also live in and call his home. We got to give my best friend a really good place to live. So that's right, guys, we are going to be building a library, a desert enchanted library. I need to come up with an official name, but I felt like it was time to give my good buddy Gazpacho a place to live. Yeah, Gazpacho, I know it's quite smelly in here. You know, living amongst the sheep is probably not the best. He has been requesting for a few weeks now. I was gonna say days, but let's be honest, it's been weeks. For his own house. I told him that we didn't really have a guest bedroom in this place, so there's not really anywhere for him to sleep. But the sheep are pretty soft, you know what I'm saying? But this is my best friend in the world, and I feel like it's time to officially get him a proper place to live. So first things first, we gotta find a place for him to live. And by this, I mean an actual location. We need to find a location to put Gazpacho's new home. Now, I have a plan for this area over here, so I think that's not gonna work, and I think I want to keep him relatively close. So I'm thinking this is a perfect spot once we get all these trees cleared out. Now, another thing that I do know is Gazpacho's been heading over to the village on his late nights. He does have some friends over in a nearby village, and he's been talking up my village to them. And it seems like a few of them have shown interest in wanting to come and live over here. So it looks like in the future, we're going to be making way more homes than just for Gazpacho. We are also going to need to employ these villagers. So that's something we're going to have to think about too. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. First things first, like I said, we have to get rid of this tree. And these big trees are really a pain in the butt to take down. To be honest with you guys, I have no idea what I'm going to do for this build. I have a little bit of a sketch on a whiteboard, but when it comes to the actual decoration and size and everything, I have no idea what I'm doing, so let's do it together. First things first, we're going to need a block that we can actually plan the build out with, preferably a colorful block, so dirt. I know it's brown, but that could be an option for us. Now, the thing is, I do have quite a bit of concrete here that we could use. I have a ton of cyan, I have quite a bit of green. So if we convert this, I mean, we'll have quite a few colors to play around with. I think this might be the way to go. All right, now just to remember how to actually convert concrete. I think you put the concrete in your offhand, pickaxe in your regular hand, and then you just kind of go to town and you press, yeah, there we go. You press both of your mouse buttons, the left and the right at the same time, and boom, 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 you have concrete for days. As long as you time it correctly. Now, the thing about this is it does tend to kind of spew everywhere, so you have to go on a rescue mission after you're finished. So when it comes to this build, I do want it to be relatively big. I think I want it to take up this full area, so we really gotta get to planning here, something cool. So I guess what I'm gonna do is maybe start it here. Seems like a good corner to start it out on. Maybe actually one more in just to give us some space around the back here. Let's try 15 and see how that looks. Okay, so that's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Question mark? The thing is, we can always make the shoreline bigger if we need to. So that's not going to be too big of an issue. We can always terraform. So I think it'd be cool to make this a square. So just a 19 by 19. Okay, so 19 is going to put us... Why are you shooting me? Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to build here. I'm minding my own business. Why do you have to come out of the shadows? 19 is going to put us about here. So it is going to put us right along the path, which I have to say is not my favorite thing, but I do like the idea of this being a square build. 19 might be a little bit too big. We could cut it down to 17. Perfection. It was meant to be. We had the exact amount of terracotta, so that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's how big it's gonna be. That's where it's gonna be. I think it looks pretty good. Everything has been terraformed. I'm actually gonna leave this as a pit here, so don't worry about that. Don't think that looks weird. It's meant to look like that. But what we're gonna do is we need to go on an adventure. My favorite time of the day, if you know what I mean. We are going to go see if we can find some red sandstone. I have been using orange throughout these builds as details, but I think it'd be kind of cool to switch it up and actually use orange as the main building block for this build. So that means we are going to have to go on a boat adventure. I don't think I want to get in that boat because that boat looks a wee bit dangerous. It looks like it has a creeper friend, but it actually looks like I don't have any boats around here. I swear, you guys. Where do all my boats go? Well, I guess this would be just a good time to craft one, unless, hopefully, maybe I parked another one. Nope. Ah, you guys are just as dangerous. I gotta go make one. Let's also make sure I clear off my inventory while we're here, just so that I have tons and tons of room for the resources that we're going to collect. I'm sort of thinking, before I leave, it would be kind of nice to see if I could get efficiency 4 on this pick. Oh, and another thing that I wanted to do, we might as well do this now. Ever since I started building out my mines, I have 37 diamonds to my name, which means diamond armor. Look at all this shiny diamond gear we can make. So we are going to do it. Cover me in diamonds. Ah, what a wonderful day. And then I also want to make myself a sword. So we officially have the full set. Ah, how incredible is that? So this is my first gear. We're going to take all this off. I'll probably put this on an armor stand. And here is my first diamond gear. Look at us. Ah, nothing feels better. I feel shiny. I feel new. I feel fancy. Knockback 2. Oh man, I don't know if I really want knockback. So I'm kind of thinking really quickly. I'm curious. We could make a new diamond pick and just see what we get on it. So let's see. What do efficiency for? I mean, come on. Holy crap. Silk touch, my friends. Silk touch. Efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3. I can just buy a mending book. Oh my word. That's amazing. Okay, what can we get? Sharpness 3. I think I'll take it. Okay, just sharpness 3 on our sword. I'm not complaining. So now we're at 28 levels. So I have a mesa right near my base, and it looks like this place is filled with red sand, which is exactly what we're going to build out of today. I'm not really sure how much of this I'm going to need, but knowing me, I build pretty big, so I think I'm just gonna grab a ton of it. Doesn't seem like it's too deep. It's only one layer. Ooh, I hate getting rid of landscapes like this. It makes me so sad. All right, I guess we'll just start taking this out. We could also take this orange terracotta, so I'm just gonna kind of start flattening out all this land. And honestly, I really should be using my shears to pick these up. All right, scaffolding in place. We are gonna work our way on over, or fall down, or fall off the build entirely. Oh, definitely reckless. Okay, first wall is somewhat in place. That is looking good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's gonna be, it's really gonna pop because all of our builds so far are sandstone, so this one's gonna be a little bit different, but it's really gonna tie in the orange from our other build, so I think it's gonna look good. But I gotta go to sleep, and then I am going to get working on this thing. We are getting the arches in place, so the way we're gonna do this is coming all the way on the sides. Just give it a little bit more structure on the sides, and then we are gonna go in by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5th. And then let me craft up some more here, and then we're gonna go, this is gonna go all the way up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5th, and then we should have a block of 3 in the center, or a little section of 3 in the center. And I'm gonna do that to every single side. It should look pretty good. Like I said, these are gonna be our little archways, so you can actually peer into the library. I really am doing this a lot in this village, where it kind of has a outdoor indoor feeling. Like, it's partially going to be mostly like when you're inside of it, it feels indoors, but there's a lot of archways, a lot of open air coming in, like real flowing air, similar to our sniffer pen. Like it is covered all the way by a roof, so it's, you know, feels like you're kind of inside, but it actually has so many arches that you sort of also feel like you're outside. So that's the main theme here, which I personally really like. Oh, I already love how that pops. Just switching it up, using a different color instead of using sandstone all the time. You do not have to use the same color all the time. I think as long as you use a somewhat similar build style, or you stick to some of your building traditions, then the builds are going to look cohesive. They're going to look similar, and they don't have to be the same color all the time. Now, the sad part is I am running out of red sandstone because, again, Mojang, I'm looking at you. The conversion rate sucks doodle. It actually sucks doodle, and I do not love it. So please, Mojang, just let me have more sandstone, please. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5th. So just going in and planning out the layout, these are all going to be fairly large bookcases, I believe. Just kind of going around, and then I want this to be a way out to sort of like a oceanside patio. I think would be really cool with some seating out here, so you can, you know, leave and go look out at the ocean while you read or something like that. Also, look at this. I got the arches in. I added some orange terracotta for decoration. I think that looks pretty awesome. And then I'm sort of thinking I want to add in some more bookshelves here, but we got to figure out where Gazpacho's going to be. And these are going to go all the way up. They're going to be quite large. So I think we just want to have a little, almost like 3 by 3 area, but this is going to take, maybe we do that. No, that's a little off center here. Hold on. I gotta figure out where we want to put Gazpacho, because I want him to have enough space to kind of walk around and be a lively villager, but we don't have too much space here. So yeah, and I did also add some depth here, so this doesn't go all the way, just because I feel like it would look better to have the bookshelves pushed away from the wall instead of being right against the wall. I don't know. We're gonna try it out and see if we like it, but yeah, we'll see. So maybe what we could do here is maybe right in front of this area is where we have Gazpacho, and he doesn't really need to have a 3 by 3. We could just put him there. So yeah, I think this will be fine. I just need to figure out exactly how we're gonna get this worked out. All right, I think it's time to sell some, or to buy some stuff with Pacho. So let's see, what you got, Pacho? You've got a few bookcases for me too. Wow. Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to get more emeralds, but we'll be able to kind of look at this and see how this is gonna look from the inside. So these are basically, like I said, these are going to be bookshelves, and we'll be able to see them from, like, as we walk by. So everyone's going to know that this is the library in town, and it should look pretty awesome. I also want to get some of the new bookcases. I definitely want to use a ton of those in my build, but let's see here. So what I'm thinking right now, the thing that's going to pose an issue with using the bookshelves, these bookshelves, is they aren't on the back texture. So we would have to face these outwards, which could cause an issue. But what we could do is, instead of leaving this as a gap, actually what we could do is just double this up. Double this wall up here and here. And then we could have these on this side and on this side. So it's like extra thick, if you know what I mean. And then we could even probably still have enough room to keep that midsection. We just have to put it like here. So you guys already know I got to add some stripped logs to this build. It just finishes us out. I think it looks really good. So everywhere that we have a little bit of an intersection between this orange terracotta and our red sandstone here, we are going to add a log. And we're gonna strip it. And then I gotta get a little bit of trapdoors because that's gonna look good. And then of course we're gonna hang lanterns from there. But that should keep tying together all of our different spruce that we have on all of our other builds. I think it's just gonna look so nice. Again, we're trying to keep cohesion, so we do want to use some of the same elements throughout the other builds and this build. Even though we're using a completely different color palette for this build, we want to keep some things the same. So this is one of those elements that I think is really, really gonna look good. So yeah, let's take that one out, strip that, and then I just gotta get some lanterns, but that is definitely gonna go in on every single side. I think that's gonna look, oh yeah, that looks really nice. I was originally gonna go around with sandstone, but just because this is such a low-key kind of expensive block for me to get at this point, I think it'd actually look better to go around with orange terracotta for this rim. Again, we are going to keep this middle section quite open, actually. Yeah, I kind of, well, I wanted like a tower going up so that Gazpacho could come up here. Oh man, I'm gonna have to really work this out. It's gonna be good to use this orange terracotta as the trim. It's just gonna break it up and just give it more interest. So anytime I can switch up the blocks, I'm gonna try to do that. Oh my gosh! Oh, there was a creeper hiding in the bookcases. Oh my, I actually screamed, squealed if you will. That was terrifying. Get out of my library. Why are you here? Creeping, trying to read, trying to get educated on how not to explode. That is the second time in 2 days that I've gotten jump scared by a creeper. Thankfully, the last one wasn't on recording. All right, guys, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add another tier to this cake of a build. We are going to go in by 1, and we're going to basically do the same thing, but I'm actually going to go up by 7 this time. I think that was 5. I wasn't counting. And again, I'm going to take fall damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, up 2 more. So let's count this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to come over. This tier is just going to go in. And then I think we're going to have one more tier on top that's sort of just like a decorative tier. I've been doing flat roofs for most of our builds here. I mean, that one's a pyramid, but I still consider it pretty flat. But that portal's flat. The starter house is flat, the mine is flat, so I think it's time to try something different. Try like a little bit of detail. With the 1 double tall spruce tree, I was able to get 43 chiseled bookshelves. I actually really like how easy this crafting recipe is. Thank you, Mojang. Thank you. I know I've been giving you crap for the sandstone recipe, but thank you for the chiseled bookshelf recipe. First of all, just for adding it into the game, and secondly, just for making it such a nice recipe to craft. It is a beautiful thing, but I'm going in and I'm trying to figure out how tall we want our bookshelves to go. I basically, like I'm telling you guys, I want these to go all the way to the ceiling. Oh my gosh. Okay, what we might have to do is go break that up with maybe just a section of like oak wood or something. Because that looks a bit crazy, but also there's something whimsical and fantastical about it that I sort of love. But what I was going to say is if you're going to do a library this big, you're going to need those 2x2 spruce trees, those super big tall spruce trees. They're going to be your best friend. I have moved mine over there, and this is where I'm harvesting from to get all the bookshelves for this build. So that's kind of going to be my next step, honestly, is just filling in all the bookshelves. I started working on the floor as well. I've got to get more birch planted because I ran out of birch, but that's what the floor is going to be, I think. And then I was sort of thinking potentially we move Gazpacho's sort of his what am I calling this? I don't even know. His little like desk. That's the word, a desk. He sits at a desk right there. That way we kind of have more walking room this way. We can add a ladder going up here so we can access the second floor and then have a sneaky enchanting setup in one of these corners. I think could potentially be the way to go. I think that'll be quite nice. Just going in and switching our outline for some red sandstone. So I think we're gonna do this and then probably add some oh my gosh, red sandstone walls as the replacement for that. I think that'll look good. Yeah, and then I replaced these steps with some birch, and the floor is birch as well, which I kind of like, just the really messy kind of birch texture. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I should use something different, but I don't have that many resources right now, so I don't really know what else to use and I don't want it to look too busy. So we'll see, but I think this thing is looking awesome. Let's take a look at it from the outside and then I'll continue working on this, but check it out. This build feels so different than the other builds, but it feels like it still fits, especially once we go and add the details. It's gonna really feel like it fits. But oh my gosh, just the difference in color. I love the contrast of the bookshelves. Like that looks awesome. So I am so pleased with switching up the design and doing something different. Dun, 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 dun. I've done some work, guys. So check this out. This thing looks awesome. I love it a lot. I think this looks so cool. Not to toot my own horn. I mean, look at me over here tooting, but what? Anyways, oh my gosh. I did the top. The top is looking pretty good. We've gotten a lot of the bookshelves in. It has been, oh man. I think I'm gonna try to count how many bookshelves this build has. Just so I can tell you guys, because it is so freaking many. It's so many on the outside and inside. But the part where I'm struggling with is the getting the bookshelves here for our enchanting setups. And I also want to sprinkle some of these bookshelves throughout here just to give it a little more color, although I think I mentioned this earlier on, but I do love the way this looks. I think this honestly might be my favorite build in the entire area just because of the popping orange color. Like, it looks so cool to me. But I was also thinking about maybe adding some lightning rods to those top bits there, but I'm not sold on the idea. I kind of like it just the way it is, so I don't know, maybe that's something we can try, but I'm not sold on that. So I want to go in and do some detail work. I've got quite a bit of trapdoors here, so let's see where we can get these added. So I was thinking if we go up here, I definitely want to add trapdoors to this. So probably coming all the way across, I think would look really good. Just like that, and do that all the way around. Oh yeah, that's going to match our starter house a little bit. That's going to look really good. And of course, do that on that top section too. And then I was also thinking it might look kind of nice if on all the doorways we have trapdoors lining like this. And then I want to get an acacia trapdoor for up there because it's that nice orange color. But we got to get some acacia planted. But I think that would look good to kind of seem like shutters so that these doors can be closed if there's like a sandstorm or something like that. Could be pretty awesome. Oh yeah, I also did a little place for Gazpacho to hang out. I changed this a little bit and made it bigger because I feel like this is going to look a lot better. And then I've gotten pretty much all my lighting in with lanterns. So we're doing decent work here. I'm glad that I've been buying these in my free time because I use lanterns on all of my builds. So it's always good to have lanterns. So let me go in and add all of the trapdoors around the top, the doorways and everything, and get some acacia planted if we even have any. Let's go see if we have some even. I don't think we've been to a place with acacia, have we? I don't think I have, so that might be an adventure for us to go do today. The good thing about living in a desert is that I'm pretty close to other biomes that are dry and somewhat like the desert, such as the savanna. So it wasn't too hard to get myself over here to grab some acacia wood. I'm going to take all of this and hopefully bring a few saplings back with me, but I think using some of these trapdoors could be really good. So definitely taking this back with me. We're back. We're back in town, and wow, is this place shaping up. Oh, just walking through that little area is so cool. But now that we have our acacia, we can start seeing if this is potentially a block that we want to decorate with. I think this would also be a great flooring block throughout a lot of our interiors of our build. I think we already have so much orange in this build that we're not going to do orange for the interior flooring of this. That would be a lot of orange. But I feel like this could be really nice for some trim, potentially. Okay, from far away, I think it looks really good. From up close, I'm not the biggest fan of it because I feel like we already have this here. And I don't know, I feel like it looks a bit weird. But maybe if we add it to every single one of them, it won't look as weird. It'll look more in place. Yeah, maybe it's such a small detail that you won't even notice it. I might take this out later if I, absolutely change my mind. But, I think it's okay to stick with things and feel it out while, give it some time, give it a chance. And then if you really don't like it, take it down later. Okay, so that was, yeah, I do think that looks good. Sort of rounds that out a little bit more. Also, I went through and changed this into more of a rounded curved section. It still has those horizontal lines that we have on all of our builds. We kind of have these like vertical lines and then these horizontal straight lines. I think this also has that, but we're starting to incorporate a little bit of curvature just to spice it up a little bit. So I am trying to make each build look like it's a part of the same family by using some of the same techniques throughout every single build and using some of the same elements, but I also want to incorporate new elements that aren't too far off of what we've already done. So it's been fun to mix it up, change it, and see if I can create something cool. So yeah, so far, so good. I just need to go and add these trapdoors to every single side now. When it comes to using azalea leaves on this build, I gotta figure out what I want to do. Maybe we hang some down a little bit. That could look good on each of the corners. We could always go ahead and just use some as decoration as well, such as, let's see, can I make, composters actually might look really nice on this build. Hold on. So I'm trying to think, like, maybe we get rid of this. There's a glowstone down below. I did that on the starter house as well. I really like that. So maybe here we do this and then we use azalea leaves to kind of decorate that trim there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That orange, that popping orange color with the nice lushness of the green is exactly chef's kiss bread and butter that I was looking for to bring some life to this build. I think the orange gives it enough life as it is. This is like a very zesty build. I don't know why that's the word that comes to mind, but I feel like it's zesty. It's probably just because of the orange color that we have going on, but man, do I love the way this is turning out. And I knew this was going to look good once we incorporated a little green, but oh wow. You guys, I definitely think this is my favorite build that I've done so far. This is just so cool. So because we have really towering bookshelves, I think it'd be cool to add one of those, those bookshelf ladders. These are very, very popular amongst Minecraft builders and things like that. But I think it'd be cool to add one. So I want it a little bit, I don't want it fully centered. I think off kind of to the side by even one block would look pretty cool. So here, and what we need to do is just jump in place or just go into swim mode. Works too. Jump in place, jump in place, jump in place. I'm gonna hit the ceiling here, so I think we're gonna have to do that. And dang it, we literally need one more crud. Okay, so I want it to go all the way up to the ceiling. It probably shouldn't go all the way up actually, but maybe we can add something there to make it look like there's like a metal contraption that sort of pulls it. Maybe we could put chains across and that's what sort of pulls it. That could be nice, but we need to get more there. And then we are going to be adding some ladders so that we can actually use this thing. It functions, which I think is cool. Yeah, I think that looks good. So this is where Gazpacho is going to be hanging out. Another thing that I'm a bit worried about is Gazpacho getting out of here. So I do need to block this off and figure out how to keep him in there so that he doesn't die or anything. Another thing that does worry me about this is this build is half outdoors. So we could be having creepers kind of roaming in and out, which is, I have to say, not the best thing ever. So as long as we, seal these off, I think we'll be good sealing them off from each direction. Oh my god, I wasn't recording that. Why was I not recording that? I just got a trident. You guys, hopefully I got a little bit of footage of that. I just got an unbreaking trident. From, of course, a trident guy that was like right here. And of course, there was like a million tridents right here. Look at my shield is like down. Oh, there we go. Okay, see those? 2 tridents. There was a trident guy here. I promise you guys I would not be pulling your leg. I hope I got a little bit on camera because sometimes, so I have a hotkey on my mouse that starts and stops my recording. And sometimes, especially in the heat of the moment, I will like press the button and stop recording on accident when I don't mean to. So that's probably what happened because I swear I was recording. I don't know. I'm frustrated. Anyways, you guys, I think the build is about as finished as we are going to get finished today. I can't believe I tried it. Anyways, let me be excited about this for a moment because holy crap, this thing is cool looking and it matches my gear. I really wasn't thinking I was going to get one, but I do try to press the record button just in case it does drop. And this one actually dropped. I don't even have looting or anything. I just got really, really lucky. But anyways, guys, I have been doing a little bit of decorating. You can see we've gotten more path work done. And the build is pretty much finished. So let me flip around and show you. Dun, dun, dun. Check it out, guys. I also added these little stringing hanging things that I sort of mentioned earlier. Have lanterns hanging down. There's some vines and some grass. Technically not vines, but you know, the grass kind of growing around it like it's supposed to be like vines. Creeping around from one build to the other. And we're kind of going with a orange and green and cyan theme, which I think looks good. So when you walk under this, it's just so atmospheric and beautiful. I'm going to put a bridge here eventually, but as you're walking into town, you see this beautiful orange build, the festive hanging lights and banners. We've got a bamboo growing. I'm starting to go around and use some decorative sugarcane as well because sugarcane only grows 3 tall. So if we do it 4 or 5 tall, it looks a little bit more decorative, which I like. I also want to sprinkle some sugarcane underneath the docks here so that gives more color under there. But I did add a dock to this build, you guys. So there's like a little patio area where you can come out, sit. And the way I'd like to think about this is it's somewhat of like a bistro as well. So you could maybe buy some food here. So we might have to put some signs and stuff with food. But yeah, there's a bunch of seating so you can kind of sit down, overlook the water and read your book in the afternoon. I think it's beautiful. I went with the bed umbrellas. So these are like little table umbrellas. And if we kind of look at the top here, oh my gosh, my inventory is crazy. Where even is my scaffolding? I've been throwing things around like crazy. Also, if you guys are wondering why I got ink sacks, that was from the trident guy throwing at a squid, and I got the remaining ink sacks, which was actually pretty awesome. But yeah, guys, let me see here if I can find my scaffolding. I need to make more. I always lose this stuff, but I wanted to show you what the top of these umbrellas looks like. So it's just the bed trick. You just go around in a circle like do, 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 and around a block, and you can add little colorful umbrellas. And I put some things underneath, having the pole sticking through so it looks authentic. I like adding the block in the middle because that also kind of makes it look like it's arching up and creating that like kind of umbrella feel. So yeah, and then we got a little bit of copper sprinkled around this build too, which I love. I love the little copper stairs. We needed some more cyan because we have a lot of orange and quite a bit of green with the leaves. So we needed more cyan to balance it out. Now I do need to bring Gazpacho in here, so that's going to be something I do. But yeah, last but not least, I just need to get the enchanting tables in here. So I'm not going to do that today because it's going to take so many bookshelves. I think I'm out of obsidian. Actually, we might be able to go craft the enchanting setup. So we'll do that in a second, but I can't get all the books to make full enchantings today. So I'll just do that on a live stream or something. But yeah, this is the little dock. I really love how the dock turned out just because I feel like it adds a little bit more atmosphere to our area here and it adds just some decoration. I need to go through these patches where there isn't anything and add a little bit more decoration, but everything is starting to really link together and I'm feeling so good about this. Like, this build makes me so proud. I just love it. I love it so much. I am definitely, as much of a pain in the butt as it is to get the orange sand, I am definitely going to be making more builds out of this because it looks incredible. That orange color just pops. It's the perfect orange. I hope you guys like it. Please let me know what you think of our enchanted library. Okay, let's just see. I think I need two more obsidian. Oh, okay, we can make one. Yeah, we can make one. I'll have to get more leather. That's okay. I'll make the second one because I do want two in here, just so it really gives that enchanted feeling. Another thing I want to do is decorate the interior of this a bit more. I feel like candles would look really cool in here, and maybe some, like, just more color, I think is what it needs, but that'll come when we put the bookshelves in. But that's gonna go there, and this is where we can enchant. And then I'm thinking we have another one on this side that would look really good. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of my Cozy Minecraft Let's Play. I love this series, you guys. I'm growing so attached to this Minecraft world in a way that I never have before, and I just gotta say, it feels so good. So thank you guys for joining me along this series. I hope I'm giving you some inspiration. I'll get Gazpacho in the meantime, but thank you guys again. I hope you all have a very beautiful, wonderful day. I'll talk to you in the next cozy episode. Bye, guys.